it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. Welcome back. On this episode, I'm going to show you some use of the carrier on Glacier. I mentioned several times in the past that I would get an example of this, so I've got this one here queued up for you, and we'll talk about using the carrier on Glacier to start to lock down a little bit the northwest corner of the map. You can see that I've come across the middle in my T92. It's a Tier 8 American light tank, and I am bottom tier, but it's only a two-tier battle with a 5-10 setup, 5-9s and 10-8s. I've got quite a few guys coming in behind me here. You got two choices for going up the carrier. The ramp is over there, over to the right there at D4 or so. Two choices, obviously. You can go immediately there and try to run up that carrier and gain that advantage right off the bat, or you can wait a little while for things to develop and look for your chance. I like the develop idea. It's nice if you can actually zoom up there and not take any hits and immediately get up there and be effective, but it's highly likely you're going to get waxed or at least take several hits. There's going to be so many guns pointing at you right here because that's exactly what they're expecting. In addition to that, this is the area at D4 where most people poke immediately. So anyone who's camping back here or guys who are driving across looking, they're really looking at this part of the saddle. This other part of the saddle is probably not watched as closely, although you will be spotted immediately there. The other problem with here is any of their fast tanks with gun depression are already going to get there or be there about the same time you are. So it's really just a big trading war, plus there's the artillery. So all that being said, I choose to go to this more central spot to look for the spots initially and poke up on a spot where it's less likely people will be looking. And that guy got me lit. A little bit aggressive right there. I shouldn't have done that. And I get some lights. Now you can see that there's already a scrum. The T-49 decides to try to get up there, and look what's happening to him. Take a look at that. He got pretty well hammered because he decided to go up there on the immediate attack. I'll come up here, and of course I get a bounce into his turret or something. And now we're going to move back around. They've got quite a stack right there. We've got the Bulldog. We've got the 257, and they're poking up and taking shots and making these guys look at them. So I'm going to take this distraction, this opportunity, to go ahead and head up and over while they're all shooting at the 257. And then I'll come across to hug this wall, get a little too close here, so that I can minimize the amount of shots I'm taking from over here. Realize that if they're on the back side a little bit further away or at this corner, you're really in trouble because they can shoot up that whole time. Good news is there's nobody really over there, which is what I noticed. And they sent a bunch of guys up to the northwest. See, there's one guy, that's the position I was talking about where you could get 8 up. Fortunately, he's a near dead and I'm able to shoot him down into the back. So now we come around to the carrier, and you can see that it is slightly angled right here. So you're going to get kind of an odd hold down capability, although you're also using that rock right there. The 103 is driving up and around, and he's going to find out why that spot is not a very good spot to hang out when there is somebody sitting up here. He's got the gun depression or elevation, sorry, to get there, and he's actually trying to push out away from the rock. But you see that as I back down, I'm able to cover up again, essentially a kind of hold down fight. He can't come out too far because now he's vulnerable to my friends over there. Now this only really works if you have friends over there keeping him honest. Otherwise he drives a little bit further away from the rock, gets the elevation he needs, and gets shots on me. So it does take more than just somebody sitting up here. If you're up here alone and you don't have anybody like the T-54 and the 34, and now I've got this 54E1 and Super right here, keeping them from driving over into that, I'll show you, into this flat area over here or further out, you're done. You have to run away back behind the superstructure here, and you're much less effective. So it's one of these positions that requires a bit of the symbiotic relationship between you and the other guys. But if you're up here, it's incredibly annoying for the guys down below. I'm going to go up and try to find him again. He misses. I ricochet. The Mod 1 now is moving up, as you can see, to take advantage of the fact that this dude is now fighting 2 different directions. Somebody's Spider-Manning above him. And that's just really annoying. I'm able to get right down on the top of his turret right there. And now he's dealing with the Mod 1. Takes a hit. Oh, I miss. Oh, bat chat behind me. Alright, so there's one of the other dangers of this. Take a look what's going on. Yep, their 12T made it up. So be careful while you're using this. This has happened to me multiple times now, where I get so enamored of fighting these guys here that I don't notice that they've cleared out the middle, and now they're starting to filter up through this thing. And that's the kind of get up there late game in order to counter somebody who's up there. So I have to go get him, even though he is hammering me there. I know that I have to go deal with him and get as many shots in before his reload happens, so I just come down at him. If I just hide back there, he'll reload, pop out, and machine gun me down. I'm just going to come in here, see how much damage I can get. I'm not even worried about the ram, because I just need him to go away. Really just auto-aiming him here. And I get lucky that he did not have enough to take me down. There's an STA-1 down there, or 2, sorry. Take a shot. The reason I pop out, he shoots, he misses. I know I can get in there inside of his reload, take one shot, and now I'll get out of there. And they really won this corner down here, despite all my little bit of damage. I was going to say all my damage, but my little damage. Oh, I bounce. Holy cow. That's not good. And they're cleaning up down here. The 50-41's hurting. He wants to come out and try to take him out. And I'm able to finally get that shot into his armor, or into his weak side, and they take down my 50-41. And this is looking good for the home team, or looking bad for the home team. Certainly not looking good. Got to watch those guys with elevation. So that's 264. That's pretty good elevation. I'm able to put another shot into the 75. Now I need to back down, because you'll see what was happening there is this Super was doing exactly what he needed to do to get a shot on me. He was backing further away so his elevation would work. There's nobody left to keep him honest or bother him, so he can just get out in this flat. And then I'm just really exposed up on that part, or I have to hide behind this superstructure, and that's not very effective for a light tank to be trying to pop out from that superstructure. And it doesn't matter anyway, because as you can see, the other thing about this part is it's a relatively difficult shot for artillery, but it is exposed. You know, you're on that back slope of a hill, but hey, if he gets close enough, especially when you're as low hit point as I was, he probably could have just aimed for the rock side here. Just as soon as the boom hits anywhere near me right there, whatever the heck I'm trying to say, it's going to take you down right there. So those are some of the ins and outs of using the carrier. I'm able to get about 2,000 damage out of this. Ends up being a loss because the fight here in the northwest went extremely poorly for our team. They just sent a little bit more. Just a few things to think about. You can try to go up immediately, or you'll probably pay the price like the T-49 did. I like waiting just a little while, but I still try to get up there relatively early. However, wait late game with your fast and mediums. If it starts going well and you've got somebody like me up there irritating people, you can move up there later on, and it can become a pretty commanding spot. The last thing I will say is this right here where the T-49 died is your only real spot to be able to spot down into there. And while it is powerful because it's pretty close, you can see that it's completely exposed, and it's just very difficult to use. I guess in theory you could go up here and pop your turret up above one of the edges here to get the same effect. In fact, this corner is probably closer to the guys that are camping down there, not by much, but a little bit, so you might get a little bit better spot on those guys as well. So there you have it, some of the uses of the carrier. Alright guys, take it easy. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you.